Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What? Okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's the AEW Dynamite recap, brought to you by the Smacked Raw podcast. There it is. There we go. I am your host, KTW, or Katie, baby.
Baby.
And I'm joined. He doesn't have to do it. Don't make him do it. He's fine. And I'm joined, of course, by Kevin Crazy and the phenomenal Sebastian. How you guys doing?
Good.
Yo, I'm doing great. So here's a story for you. I used to we used to take people's names from high school and change the first letter of their first name with the first letter of their last name. So like the best one ever was Shark Mall, and we turned it into a band name. So I was thinking about that earlier, and I started doing that with AEW wrestlers' names. And the best one I came up with was Roadie Codes. I thought that was really funny.
I kind of like that.
So there you go.
Thank you for that little story time.
It was a good opening match. Let's be honest.
So we're a wrestling recap podcast. I don't know how, but you can find us on recapping Raw, SmackDown, and AEW on twitch.tv/puttingyouover. You can find the NXT recaps on our personal Twitch, which is twitch.tv/SmackDrawPodcast. Podcast. I always forget it's the podcast. You can click this nice subscribe, like, hit the notification bell on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SmackDrawPodcast.
Hey, my son is so stoked whenever we hit a milestone on YouTube. I can't even tell you. Like when he found out that we were at 200 subscribers, it's like the first time that I think that he thought that I did anything cool. So there you go.
That's adorable. I'm glad your son also appreciates us hitting 200, because it's like in some people's minds it's not that big of a deal, but I know for like mainly Kyle, this is basically his child, it's a big deal to him. So it's also a big deal
it's
to
a
me
good
now.
milestone. It's a good milestone to hit. I'm not trying to no, I mean I was telling that story because I felt I was kind of proud of it too, you know, to be honest. I think that that's a noble goal to have, and we hit it. We're over it now, so yeah.
We are. I think we're at like 205.
We'll get to 500 sometime, I bet.
Oh yeah, we will.
There you go.
Excellent.
We are also the exclusive recap for Wrestling News World. Shout out to Wrestling News World because they deal with us. But they also have fantastic writers over there, like great articles, other great podcasts. Their premium content's great. If you like supporting your wrestling writers, go over there, check them out. Mm-hmm. And speaking of supporting, Kevin, since Kyle doesn't have a clip of it yet, how can people support us?
Well, they can go to our Patreon, or I mean, just liking our show, watching it. The 200 subscribers, I mean, that was a big support for me. You made my son proud of me. Jesus. But anyway, give us your money too, you know, because we'll give you shirts and stickers, sneak peeks to programs. If we ever do UWO again, which Kyle's been teasing.
It's coming back next week.
All right, it's coming back next week. There you go. Breaking news. You hear it here first. You know it's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. We'll give you some advertising. You can this is where I was going with the UWO. You can tweet at us and we'll put you on the show and tell you if your opinion is awesome or it sucks. So there you go. And you know, there might be some cool people that'll talk about your opinion because we're looking for people to be on that show too. There you go. That's another tier.
I think you hit everything in that longer. That might be the longest plug you've done for Patreon.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, what
Money
Kevin
for
said.
stuff.
What
All of
basically what Kevin said.
Yeah, all of it.
All right, boys. Dynamite happened.
It did.
How do you guys feel overall? Kevin, I know your response. Sebastian,
Yeah.
let's start with you.
Wasn't the best Dynamite. It's all right. It's okay. Wasn't the best. I really want to hear Kev say how great it is. I'm waiting on it.
Oh no no
Well,
no!
no, this might surprise you, man. I thought it was kind of sloppy, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Well,
like I like some of the.
I
I
was thinking
like
was
some of the.
coffee, so yeah.
Oh, sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you actually nailed the word I was thinking of in my head was sloppy. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. I like some of the story elements that were going on there, though. You know, the ongoing stuff like with Impact is probably the most compelling storyline in wrestling right now. That's incredible. So anytime there's any development in that, it's a win for me watching Impact or AEW at this point, honestly.
Yeah. Dynamite this week just wasn't it. I don't know. It a lot of things were sloppy. Kevin and I were talking before you joined the call, Seb. That the best match, like in ring wise, was Penelope Ford and Leela Hirsch.
Kind of excited for this episode. I didn't want to bash everything. Everybody else liking, but now I'm happy. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go in.
Listen, we're not. Well, Kevin's positive Patty to a T, but
Oh, he had some.
not today.
AEW.
Jesus.
Listen, sometimes a show just doesn't do it for me, and it didn't do it for any of us. But we're still gonna talk about it. We're still gonna go through.
Nah, like I've said before, 52 shows a year, not all of them are going to be bangers. Some of them are going to be shitters. It's just the way it is, you know, and you got to take the good with the bad.
Kevin,
So that was a shit.
swearing.
Oh,
Sorry.
God, I didn't even think about it. I'm sorry. Was that the first time that I did, though? The whole, like,
Yeah, 7 minutes in.
wow. I wasn't even thinking about it. It just happened.
Well, I'm so like self-conscious about what I say now because Kyle decided to call me out on Tuesday because I say 100% all the time. And
Who
he
cares?
called me out, and then I almost said it 3 other times after he called me out. And I was like, oh, maybe I do say that a lot.
Call him out. He's a jerk.
I mean, he swears just as much as we do sometimes,
I would say more.
and he knows that. It's something we all need to work on as a whole, as a group, as a family, if you will.
I'm pretty happy.
Friday
with
night
who
is a
I am.
free for all. They're not even kidding.
Sebastian's fine.
I'm pretty happy with who I am. I don't need to work on it.
Well,
Sebastian's
I
fine.
appreciate that, Sebastian. You know what? I am too, and I feel like they're all trying to change me. So
For YouTube,
you know,
if we want to stay on YouTube and start making money off this stuff, we gotta stop
all right.
swearing
I
as
mean,
much.
now you're just pulling at my heartstrings talking about the YouTube. How I'm like, oh, my son finally thought it was cool. Screw you,
Hey.
Katie.
That's me. All right, let's talk about Dynamite. So we started off with -1's a birthday celebration. The whole Dark Order are out there with him. They sing happy birthday to him. They got him a little cake. And Luther and Serpentico, aka the Chaos Project, come out. Luther's basically yelling at a 9-year-old, saying that he looks stupid and he doesn't like kids, and they're there to ruin his birthday party. Which, rude. First of all, kid's 9.
Funny though.
Very funny, but rude. At one point, they, like, I just, listen, so much happened in this first segment. It's so hard to, like, piece everything together.
I miss most of this because my cable is a butthole.
Yeah, your cable was not the best. I was just trying to write everything down as I could. I think, like all hell decided to break loose. Like, Luther and Serpentico were fighting with Cabana, Silver, and Reynolds. And then TH2 came out because that was the scheduled match. And then they're all fighting. Hangman's music hits, and you can verbally see it when they pan out to him. He's like, "What the fuck?" Like, you can verbally see him say it.
That's funny.
I wish I could clip it and just throw it up because it's on Twitter. You can see it, and it's so funny. But it leads straight into that match, and this. Listen, there was a lot happening in this match. Not all good. I mean, Hangman kind of slips doing the nip up, which that happens to a lot of people all the time. So that's not even just him. There was a spot where he had Reynolds on his back, and then Cabana threw Silver on top of Reynolds on Hangman, and Hangman almost fell. There's so much happening. There's so much chaos. But in the end, there was good teamwork between Dark Order and Hangman. There is a very nice sequence of events with Silver and Reynolds because their combos are fantastic. And it leads right into a buckshot lariat, German suplex combo. Reynolds gets the pin. And then we have to figure out what Hangman's answer is to joining the Dark Order. Silver gets down on a knee, basically like he's proposing to Hangman, and asks, "Will you join the Dark Order?" Hangman says no. He's done the group thing before, and it didn't end well. He apologizes. Something I did notice, though, he grabbed the bottle of whiskey that Stu Grayson had because they assumed he was going to say yes. They had banners and people dressed as cowboys come up, but they had
banners that said he said yes, like they were getting engaged or some shit. It was hilarious.
I loved it. I loved the spectacle they tried to put on for it. But the thing I did notice is Hangman took the bottle from Stu and he went out the heel tunnel.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, because I mean, everybody thought he was going to be joining up with the Dark Order, maybe it'll parlay into a little feud with John Silver or something like that, I mean, I think that would be dope.
Maybe. Seb, what is your whole opinion on the whole Dark Order Hangman stuff?
Like I said last week, I was kind of hoping he'd join, just
really
for no reason in general, just their chemistry, him and Silver and the other ones. I think that they work very well together. I was just kind of surprised that they said no, but I kind of like the story they're telling. His first line was, "I've done the group thing." It kind of sounded like, you know, somebody got scorned by an ex and somebody else is trying to get with him now. And he's like, no, no, too soon, So, there's some real life stuff, kind of, not between them, but, it's a comparable situation, kind of.
No, like you said about the X thing, that's what really resonated. Not that not that I'm breaking up with anybody or anything like that, but I hear what you mean because it's yeah, I mean, he really got screwed by the Elite, really, when you stop and think about it. You know what I mean? I mean, I understand you could make the case, that some of that was his fault and all of that sort of thing. But he really got the short end of the stick out of that deal at the end of the day. And, so when like you said, when he said that, I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense. But God damn it, am I disappointed he's making that choice? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, when I ended up doing the Smack and Raw podcast on Friday, I was the only person who was like, I can see both sides of it. I can see Hangman joining, and I'd be okay with it. I can see him not joining, and I'd be okay with it. And everyone was getting on my case, saying Hangman shouldn't join. Da 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 da. I was like, I get it. I see both sides of it. Yes, he did just do a group thing, and it clearly didn't work out well. Like Hangman even said himself. But he could have honestly helped elevate them, like the Dark Order, and he could have been like the main guy in Dark Order. So like again, I see both sides of it. Which also, I'm wearing my Brody shirt that I just got today. So
yeah, that's dope. That's awesome.
and I made my lights purple. You can't actually tell, but it's like the Brody tribute episode all over again. Except this time I'm not sobbing for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we'll hold the crying this time.
Yeah, no tears this time. There's no crying in wrestling.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I didn't really think they could make a wrong choice. I just really wanted him to join because it's like Seb was saying too, like the chemistry that he has with those guys. I mean, especially John Silver and the other guy.
Alex Reynolds.
There you go.
Why does
Sorry,
nobody remember his name?
I don't know,
Poor
but
Alex.
the stuff that they do is dope. I'm hoping that they'll cross paths again as friends because this stuff's all knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to see what happens with that. It's definitely going to elevate into something more. Like all of Dark Order was like heartbroken. Mainly John Silver was heartbroken that Hangman didn't join. So
poor guy.
We're gonna see, and we're gonna move on to a interview backstage with Jericho and MJF, or as I just call him, Max.
Stop it! You should smile more.
It's what is stop. We're not doing that again, Kevin. No.
I'm just saying.
No, sir, not today. Max is worried
learn
about dissension in the group because of this triple threat tag match they're having, which is the main event. And Jericho's like, no, like it's fine. We'll all be great. We're gonna move on together afterwards. This is gonna make us stronger. Spoiler alert, it's probably gonna tear them apart.
I know.
Because of Max. But we will get there. Following that, we got Sting congratulating Darby. Which I like that Sting came out and then Darby came out and Sting was like, well, there's something that reminds me about you of me. And I was like, no, really? Couldn't tell. Couldn't tell at all. And he says, well, let me be the first in public to congratulate you for being the TNT champion. And as if someone said, no, we need Taz on the TV. Team Taz pops up on the Jumbotron. And is basically saying how it wasn't fair that Sting came out last week, used the bat on Ricky Starks, Darby used his belt on Brian Cage, and Taz was saying that you guys are dirty players, and coming from him, okay, nice try. And he said that Team Taz are street fighters. Like, if you want to take us to the streets, we'll take it to the streets. And then it just cuts back to Sting whispering in Darby's ear something, and then Darby saying, like, be careful what you wish for, like, you're gonna get this. So I guess we're gonna see a street fight with Sting and Darby versus Team Taz?
I gotta think it's gonna be a cinematic match if Sting's involved. So. I'm pretty sure, like, I read somewhere, so who knows, maybe just a rumor, that his contract had some kind of stipulation in it that he was only going to do cinematic matches, which makes sense considering his past,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Sebastian?
I'm sorry, I was froze throughout that whole thing, so I don't really know what was said.
Jesus.
But I did hear the part about cinematic matches. Yeah, that seems like this is the way we're going. He said Team Taz as in like a whole though, so I don't know if it's going to be like 3-on-2, 4-on because of the young guy now. So I don't know if Darby and Steen's going to have somebody else join them. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see what they do for Team Taz, because I don't think it'll be like all four. Because that would be
maybe it'll just be Cage and Starks, the original two.
But it seems like, I don't know, I might have misremembered, but it seems like when something was said, like Starks maybe gave Hobbs a look when they said street. So I don't know. But
I didn't see it, so I.
Yeah, Kevin didn't see like anything, so
not yet, basically.
Poor Kev.
It's fine. He saw the majority of Dynamite. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I did see like I only 40 minutes, about 40 minutes. I
So,
was
did you
pissed.
see anything with the Bucks going to Kenny's house?
Yes, I did. I actually, well, I was watching it on my phone and it was kind of coming in and out. But I mean, I caught more of that segment than I didn't. That was, that's when things started to improve.
Okay, okay. So the Bucks basically go to Kenny's house to like talk to him because they're pissed about last week how it was supposed to be the Return of the Elite in 6-man tag action, and Don Callis, being the snake that he is, said, "Oh no, the Good Brothers," because Don Callis. And so the Bucks go to Kenny's house. Michael Nakazawa answers the door
I
because
didn't see that.
him and Kenny are best friends.
Yeah.
Then Bucks walk in. They see this horrific oil painting of Kenny and Dawn, like muscular. It's awful looking. It might be the thumbnail if I can do it correctly.
Oh my God. I gotta look that up because I didn't see that either. Holy crap.
It's a sight, let me tell you. And the Bucks are kind of looking at it, be like, "What the hell is this? Like, is that supposed to be Dawn?" Like, they're making fun of it. And then Don Callis comes in, saying that, "Oh, it was a rib last week. Like, I had someone in the production truck telling me that there was a change, and I didn't have time to tell you guys." Basically, trying to BS his way out of a situation that he screwed the Bucks over, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And then he tries to offer the Bucks money to basically stop being Kenny's friend.
Oh, this was hilarious.
And then Matt, being reasonable, looks at the check and is like, "We made that last week." And then Don's like, "Oh yeah, you guys are merch people," so he writes another check. And then Matt looks at him and says, "Listen, we used to work for the company you now run, and we're not taking this." And they rip the check and they basically throw it in his face. And Alex Marvez is there, still trying to get like an interview. And
I know. That was so good.
Don tells Knack to take him to the dungeon and the camera guy, but they have to leave the camera there. And then it goes black and Don's just screaming, and it's later implied that the Bucks beat up Don Callis, which
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. For real. He is the sleaziest looking guy on the whole planet. I love it. Like, I think that it's great, but oh my God, that guy just, like, I feel like he goes to bed like in a bed of ooze and like showers in slime or something, man. Like, he just and he like smells like Drakkar Noir or some shit. Like, this guy's just
Sebastian, how do you feel about this whole Don Callis trying to keep Kenny from the Bucks?
Oh, he's definitely a snake.
yeah.
But I like what they're going for. It kind of, to me, as Kev knows, I pay attention to like detail after detail. Don Callis saying nothing will be recorded in Kenny's house, and then looking at the camera, having to know the light was on, and then just sitting and letting them record them anyway. That didn't really make sense to me. But I mean, for me, just turn the camera off, and you could have still showed Callis with the black eye, and you would have actually added a little more mystery to it that way. But no, I like what they're going for. To me, it wasn't really put together that way, but it happens. To me, I think when we get to the end of this, it's going to be really, really good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I'm so compelled by this storyline. I love it.
And another thing again, which I already brought it up. We'll get to it later. The whole Kenny finding him with a black eye. Kenny is the executive president to this show. I don't know how he doesn't see what is going on his TV, but I don't know. Other than that, yeah, I like what they're going for.
It's because Kenny's too busy trying to beat up other people, ripping his nice dress shirts, and being on another show. Kenny's a little busy to care about his own show right now. But no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I hear you. It's a little strange.
And I think we talked about this last week. If they end up doing this full on Impact versus AEW, where the Bucks loyalty is gonna lie.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. That's going to be real interesting to see where they end up.
Because you can assume that they're gonna stick with the company that they built. But
Well, you'd assume Kenny Omega would do the same thing, but
well, no, it's because Kenny has Dawn in his ear, and Dawn's family, and
yeah,
Dawn's
I know.
been just manipulating Kenny for a long time. And the Bucks even said
True.
that. They were like, "Well, where have you been for the past 12 years? Not with Kenny."
Yeah. Nah. I hear you. I'm just saying, like you'd think. Who knows?
You
You
would
know.
think. So when it comes time for that, I'm very intrigued to see where the Bucks' loyalty lies.
Well, not only that though, too, it's like the other stuff that's going on with that. I mean, I know we'll probably get to some of that later. You know, well, I mean, we know about Private Party becoming the Impact
Yeah.
tag champion, #1 contenders. Stuff like that is really cool too. That kind of crossover stuff, and I kind of like this big money Matt Hardy. Like it's starting to grow on me. Like it really, like I didn't like it at first, but oh my god, like after like because I watched Impact last night, I was like, all right, I get it. I see where this Matt Hardy is going. He's trying to out Don Callis on his show, and it ruled. You know, it was
Yeah. I'll talk a little more about that when we get to the Private Party
yeah,
match. But there's so many layers to all of this. It's kind of insane.
yeah. That's what I mean. That's why this is so good and compelling. Like it's big to the whole wrestling world in general. Like it's not just AEW or even just AEW at Impact. It's like it's so much, you know, that's going on there. So many moving parts. Just a lot of cool shit. I'm really, really into it.
Blood.
So, oh, good.
No, I said
Sebastian.
blood and guts. Blood and guts.
Oh yeah,
Let it
yeah.
go.
I still am so sad we didn't get to see that, but I hope we get to soon.
Yeah.
My
Um,
TV just turned itself. It was weird. But okay, yeah, let's keep going.
Cody Rhodes taking on pretty Peter Avalon. Listen, I told Kevin we didn't need this match, like at all.
No, not really.
Cody said like last week or something that he can beat Peter in like a minute, and he immediately hits a crossroads, and we're just like, oh man, Cody's gonna win. Woo-hoo. And then Jade Cargill comes out, just stands there. At one point, the ref is telling her to go. Peter just kicks Cody straight in the dick. He dies. That's literally what
Hey, I'll take
happened.
your word for it. This is like about halfway through this match is when my shit finally started acting right. So I didn't see any of that either for the
So
most part.
that happens, and then after that happens, Jade literally just walks back to
That's
backstage.
dumb as hell.
And then Peter just starts focusing on Cody's knee. At one point, they try and do the spot where, like, you run the ropes, you jump over, and Cody's the one jumping, but it's like Peter's head just, like, collided with, like, the back of Cody's knee and his dick again, and it was just weird. And it didn't make sense. It was, like, this was sloppy. And I don't know if Cody, like, actually got hurt because he was focusing a lot on his left knee, but he ends up hitting, or getting the figure four locked in. Peter like grazes him with a slap, and Cody like looks at him and is about to slap the shit out of him. And Peter ducks, cowers, and then just taps. And then that was it.
I thought that was kind of funny because he was like, you know, don't hit me in the face, don't hit me in the face, you know, pretty Peter Avalon. I was,
Which
but
it's kind of a play on Dash and Cody Rhodes.
yeah. But you're right. I mean, what the hell is this match even? What is this? What did it do?
Nothing.
It wasted 10 minutes of Dynamite. Literally 10 minutes. This
Yeah,
match had
no, this was dumb.
this match had 3 more minutes than the women's match. It was I actually wrote down match time tonight.
Okay, he's the Sean Ross stats of the Smack Raw podcast.
I love it.
So yeah, the third longest match of the night, and it was close to the other two. So yeah, it really didn't prove anything. To me, this was just overbooked as hell. Why the hell did Jay come out here? We already knew Shaq was coming next week. No need for that. I don't understand how 10 seconds in he hits a crossroads, and don't get me wrong. I've been hit in the nuts before. Okay, it hurts. I get it, but I don't think that was enough to somehow for Peter to magically last 10 minutes after the crossroads.
Right.
I I don't know. It was just to me, it just didn't make sense. It did nothing for nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
this
it continues Peter's winning streak because he's on like an 8 winning.
No, he
streak.
lost though because he.
Well, he was going to had he continued his momentum. I
Oh, yeah,
think
that's
that's
true.
kind of why this match was a thing because he's been
I
winning
got
on
you.
Dark, and Cody was like, "Oh, this will be an easy challenge," and lo and behold, it was not. But we didn't need this match. You could have put another women's match in this, or made the other women's match a little longer. There's some stuff that
Hell,
wasn't needed in Dynamite, and this was one
a
of them.
decent promo would have been better than this match.
Yeah, you could have had Sheeta come out because apparently they announced that there's going to be a tournament to see who's going to be the number 1 contender for Sheeta's title.
Jesus, that would have been perfect. Yeah, have her cut a promo about who she thinks might win the tournament or some shit.
Yeah, they announced it on Twitter. I'll try and find the tweet. Go ahead, you guys can talk.
And I hear so many times we bash WWE for it all the time. If you're in a match, and especially 30 seconds in, like I just don't get that anyway. But like just because the music plays, you're gonna sit there and look up there for 2 minutes. Like that's something I bashed WWE for, and it was done for Cody to do the same thing. I hate the spot. I hate the whole sequence when they do.
Yeah, I'm not really into that either in that kind of a way. Like sometimes it works, but it's like it's not. It's it's overused is the
Like
problem.
if Jade wanted to do anything, you could pin him faster, and it would take Jade to walk down there in those heels. I just like.
No. I hear you. What I'm saying is that like those spots work like when the end of the match is like kind of in question, but not like that.
In
like
the beginning.
what, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Especially like I said, Jade's this tall woman wearing big old heels. It's going to take her 5 minutes to get to the ring anyway. You could pin him in 3 seconds. Just pin him. I mean,
yes, there's no way she's an athletic lady, but she is not running down that ramp.
I mean, for a company that like pays for the most part so much attention to little details and logic, tonight was just an off night. There were so many little things.
Yeah, and so I found the tweet. It says, "Coming soon, AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament," and it's going to be 16 women. So they have the picture of it is the United States flag and then the Japan flag. So we might see the return of like Rio, Emi Sakura, like
who's the Final Fantasy girl there? What was her name? Because she was dope. I really liked her a lot. I can't remember. She was Japanese, obviously.
Is it the one who she got her teeth knocked out by Britt Baker?
Yes.
I think.
I can't remember her name to save my life.
Look it up on here.
You talking about Brie? Or
What's
B?
that?
You talking about B?
No, not B. Not B Priestley.
Oh no. No, she was like
got concussed in that tag match. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
She's still wrestling, I think. What is Stardom? Isn't that the?
Yeah, you talked about getting injured, so my head went back to that like early tag match in the company where she got concussed as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like when AEW first started, like a couple months into Dynamite, maybe. Not even that long, probably.
Kevin, you're thinking of Yuka Sakazaki?
Yes.
Yeah, I like
she
her.
was dope.
She was adorable.
Yeah. Well, like I said, she looked like a Final Fantasy character to me, and that's what I really liked.
So, yeah, hopefully we'll see the return of some of the women for that. Like, and obviously you're gonna have like, you can have Nyla, Britt, Penelope, hell, you can Abaddon, Leela, so many people. You could even have Jade in it,
For sure.
even though nobody wants that. But
Yep.
that's
That
none
would
of
be
business.
actually a really good way for her to. That would be a really good way for Jade to make her in-ring debut. Honestly, I feel like is in that tournament.
That's true. But all right, we talked enough about what they could have done besides this match. Um, after that,
Well, that was more important than talking about the match.
yeah, we spent more time trying to figure out
But
people who are going to be in the tournament.
anyway.
FTR has an interview saying that they're the number one ranked tag team, and now all they need is the belts. And Jurassic Express interrupts, and Jungle Boy, who I'm so happy they're finally let like talk and develop, because he said, "Well, you guys might be the best tag team, but I know after our match last week that I can beat either one of you." And Dax like steps up and he's like, he says something along the lines of like, "I'm not like these like flippy guys you're in the ring with,"
Yeah,
or
basically.
something like that.
Basically all fists, no flips jargon.
Basically. And
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's what it was.
yeah, I mean there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's plenty of guys who don't flip. But I also think it's funny
Well, I
that,
mean, FTR, that's their whole thing, and they're badass. So I'm into them saying stuff like that.
I mean that's true. And Dax is saying, "Well, I don't need uh like the rest of FTR, Cash, Jesus, that's his name, Cash and Tully ringside." I forgot his name for a second. Leave me alone. Like, I don't
And
need them. And Luchasaurus is like, "Oh well, we can all be ringside, and I'll make sure no one gets involved." And I was like, "Damn, Dinosaur's about to pop off. Let's go."
yeah, man. I mean, Jungle Boy really. I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, but he had the match with MJF real early on in the pay-per-view, and I was blown away. Like that was one of the best matches of that night. It might have been the same one of the Kenny Omega Hangman versus the Young Bucks. So it might have gotten overshadowed. I mean, because that match was obviously like match of the year contender. But it was dope. And so I mean, I want to see Jungle Boy a lot more. And he's deceivingly bigger than what he looks too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't, like, he's skinny, sure, but like he wasn't that much smaller than Dax Hardwood, you know?
Yeah. And that match happened at Double or Nothing. Kenny and
Oh.
Paige was at verse the Bucks was Revolution.
Oh, okay.
What came next? Oh, Mox's return match. So he hasn't had a match since he lost the title to Kenny and Dawn, and he took on Nick Camarado, because that's a name. That was a man. My God.
Yeah. He was compelling. I want to, yeah.
He was a big guy. He was hairy. He's apparently the student of QT Marshall, which RN's gonna be thrilled to know.
Right.
But he actually did like control a good portion of this match, and obviously Mox couldn't have been 100% after the beatings he's taken the past few weeks by the hands of Kenny and the Good Brothers.
Right.
But it's not a super long match. Mox ends up getting the win with the sleeper.
6 minutes.
6 minutes?
Yeah.
Listen. Awesome. I said it was quick. I said it was a quick match.
You know what though? In 6 minutes, this match did more for both guys than the Cody Rhodes Peter Avalon match did.
Oh, absolutely. I like this segment. Nick, God, what was his name?
Nick Camarado.
Yeah. That guy has a lot of potential, I think.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he has a great look. We didn't really get to see a lot of his moveset in this match, so somebody would have to tell me on that. But I mean, I was fascinated by the guy.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm really compelled by him because I mean he has that look. I think on commentary they compared him to Broser Broody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he had a look.
I could
No,
totally see that. Lou Albano, dudes like that,
and 6 minutes ain't too bad of a time for a match like. I mean, like Katie said, Mox was banged up. Not to mention, he probably gave 50 pounds and a foot to
Oh yeah.
Lorana. I mean, so yeah, I didn't think this is a bad segment at all. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, and
No,
even after the match, Mox got on the mic and what do you even say? Oh, that anything can happen on Wednesdays. You don't know if there's gonna be people from. He can't tell who's from Impact,
yeah.
Japan, Canada. I think he said at one point too, and he can't keep track of everybody. And all Kenny did for him was make it exciting, like bringing the Good Brothers in.
He's so he can beat more people up,
Yeah,
basically.
he's like, it's more people for me to beat up, and all roads in professional wrestling come through me. And I like the vengeful, like pissed off Mox, like him chasing his belt again, trying to get revenge on Kenny. I like this Mox. I have no issue with it.
All
Oh,
right.
I think it fits him like a glove. I love it.
Sebastian.
Oh, I agree. You must have didn't hear me. I completely agree.
Um, but especially with who he's feuding against too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
yeah, we can hear you
Oh,
now. Yeah.
okay.
Uh,
I don't know if you heard me. I said I completely agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Oh, and like I said, like with who he's feuding against right now too. I mean, because it's obviously he's gonna be, they're gonna rekindle that feud with Kenny and him. I mean that's where it's going. And I mean they're like, even when you put Don Callis in, it's almost like he's feuding against the establishment, which is like just perfect for a dude like John Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Like he is a rebel with a cause, and that's what rules.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to see where this is gonna keep going. Well, I mean, later in the night, like during the main event, we find out that the main event of Beach Break, which is in 2 weeks, which I will not be covering now that I think about it.
Oh,
Um,
that sucks. Yeah, you won't, huh?
no, so I'll still watch it. I just won't be able to talk about it unless
Yeah.
unless I'm fully healed in 2 days. I seriously doubt that. But
You can
um,
take a lot of drugs maybe and feel all right.
I'm not gonna be able to talk.
Nah.
We found out that it's gonna be Kenny and the Good Brothers taking on Pac, Mox, and Fenix, which
Yes.
it's gonna be incredible.
Yes. I love that, man. Oh my god. Like I said, the crossover shit. I'm so here for it, man. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, Justin has a question. Um, Mox, better um better have a
I,
title crasher than having title for a long run.
Chase it.
Oh, better as a title runner or
yeah.
title crasher than
Yep.
having title for a long time.
Uh I gotta say, I like it better as a title crasher. Like I liked him with the belt, don't get me wrong, but like Katie was saying, it's kind of nice to see him have like that motivation, instead of just being like, come at me, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, I mean, I'd be into him having decent runs. Don't get me wrong, but nothing longer than what he already had, I don't think.
Yeah. Said?
Yeah, I mean, it fits him perfectly. I always, and I like Mott's, don't get me wrong, but how long did he have the title? 10 months? Somewhere around there?
Something like that. It was a
Yeah.
But
while.
to me, it got a little overran.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And it also just came to the point where he just ran out of people to face. But
Yeah.
now he has this feud with Kenny, so I like both. Like his run is really good, especially in the beginning. But I think also with like pandemic, that kind of threw a lot of things off too with his
Oh
run.
yeah.
But I'm happy with both. Mox is doing great right now, and he can't really miss. Like It's great.
No, it is. It really is. And the thing was, is he was, I felt like at the time when he won the title, he was obviously the perfect person to get it, you know, face of AEW beating Chris Jericho. Oh my God. You know, like,
Yeah, and that could be a problem in itself too, because when you think about it now, I mean, if there's anyone even close to around being able to take the belt off Omega believably, it's only him. Like I don't see any other option. So they need.
the only, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, they might want to start building up some of these side guys, just in case. You never know if Mott's goes down with injury, anything like that. So, you don't want them to fall in that same trap they fell with Mott's when they just don't have anybody. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree. I feel like the only other guy that you could believably build right now, honestly, to get to a place that could believably take on Omega is Cody Rhodes, but he hamstrung himself, with the I won't challenge for the title anymore.
I really
When
thought you were
he,
gonna say Hangman because it would make perfect sense
Yeah,
for
storyline sense.
storyline sense Kenny
oh
and
yeah,
Hangman.
But
that's true. That's true.
they'd have to heat them up a lot. I think. Like, no offense to Dark Order and unfortunate events, any of that, but like going from Dark Order to challenging Omega for the world titles, you got to be heated up. I think.
Oh yeah, like he's got to be built up for a while, and like he was kind of on the right track, like more so in the beginning of his career before he started teaming with Kenny. But
Yeah.
I think if he can get back to that, then he'll be ready for Kenny, and that's my dream match right there.
Oh well, the match that they had for the number one contendership there was insane. It was so good. I can't imagine, give those guys more time and put a title in the picture for it.
Game on.
Holy shit. Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about these next two segments were really short, so I'm just gonna breeze through them real quick. Eddie Kingston had an interview backstage talking about how next week he's in a match against Archer. Um, and then he starts trying to talk about, he's like, I'm not worried about Pac. Pac's in the past, whatever. I'm going to focus on Archer. And then Archer comes out, and then there's literally just a bunch of yelling between the two of them. And then
Yep.
Jake the Snake says something. Jake the Snake says,
Creepy Jake the Snake stuff,
creepy
basically.
Jake the Snake stuff. I block him out when he's on screen because he kind of creeps me out. So we know that it's going to be Eddie Kingston versus Lance Archer next week. So that'll be cool. And I'll just do the
Yeah.
rest of the matches for next week because I'm already on the topic. Cody is going to respond to Shaq. And then
That's a match.
it's not a match, but it's
I know. I was being an asshole.
I
It's
know
fine.
you were.
Go
It's fine.
ahead.
Dax is going to take on Jungle Boy, and then the Bucks and the Good Brothers are going to team together to face the Dark Order.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. I wonder what's going to happen with that. Like, I don't, it's hard for me to place it,
Like shenanigans are going to ensue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And we kind of brought this up. The Hangman aspect of this match, like it's the group, you know, the guy wants the girl at the moment, and then the ex boyfriend. Oh, you know what I mean? I mean, everybody involved in this story
Nah, that's true.
is there.
That's true.
So we
It
might have a Hangman run in and see where that goes. So
That would
that
be
would be
dope.
very intriguing.
That
And
you could heat up the Kenny and Hangman stuff with something like
or
that.
just have Hangman in the crowd drinking a bottle of whiskey and getting drunk during it. Whichever one. I mean,
all the
it,
above. Make it all
both
Yeah.
happen.
Let's
both
do it all. Yeah.
both kind of fit his character. So either way.
Yeah. I mean, it's also going to be interesting to see um like what Kenny's going to be doing during this match because we saw after the Eddie Kingston interview that he's like looking for Don and Don's face is all beaten up because the Bucks hit him. Oh darn. And he says Matt and Nick and Kenny gets all mad. He's like, Matt and Nick hit you? Oh my god. And Alex Marvez again tries to just get an interview and they just
I know.
shove
It's
him
so
out.
good.
Alex Marvez is just trying to do his job.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. And then later in the night, I'm just gonna skip to it because it was more backstage stuff. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, so the Good Brothers are just beating up Penta because why not? And then Kenny comes out of nowhere, also starts beating him up, takes off his boot, is jamming it in Penta's eye. They're strangling Penta with a cable.
This is brutal.
This is so much happening, but this is why Mox is now taking Penta's place in the Death Triangle for Beach Break. It all comes together.
Yep.
So
Mox was a good choice for that too. I liked it.
Oh, it makes perfect sense for it to be
Yeah.
Mox. But let's talk about more Impact stuff somehow. Matt Sydal and Top Flight teaming together to take on Party. And like Kevin mentioned, Private Party are now the #1 contenders for the Impact Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
And on Impact, Tony Khan and Jerry Lynn were ringside.
I think Tony Khan has spent more time on Impact TV than he has probably on Dynamite. In all seriousness, like I'm not, but yeah, it was funny as hell too, because Tony Khan had like a Star Trek notebook or some shit, and he was taking notes during the match. It was pretty funny, actually.
I love Tony Khan.
It's really confusing when you think about it. Like, is Tony Khan friendly with Impact after, they just keep coming beating his people up? Like, I feel like Tony Khan should be a little more pissed off than what he is.
Well, he is, but like he's expressing a lot of that more on their show. You know what I'm saying?
Also,
does that make sense?
Didn't Jerry Lynn basically cost Storm and Sabin the match?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what I mean. Like it's not happening on Dynamite, but he's definitely doing shit, talking shit on him on their show and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Okay, well, I haven't got the chance to watch it. When you first say it just sounded like he was ringside just taking notes. So I was like, what the hell?
Oh, no. It was more of a like twist my mustache, evil taking notes kind of, vibe.
Okay.
Instead of like the geeky nerd that he actually is.
Tony Khan's a precious gem. I love him. Little nerd man.
Oh, God.
Has a wrestling company. Ugh. But so this match,
he is a nerd,
Top Flight and Matt Sydal, Hardy Party. There is a show of respect in the beginning towards someone in Top Flight. I can never remember their names. And Mark Quinn, great. It's like surprisingly good teamwork by Sydal and Top Flight, but it kind of makes sense because they're all flippy guys.
Flipsy doos, Rob would say.
Doos. And we start to see like this aggressive side of Private Party, which I guess was also shown on Impact, but I don't watch Impact. But commentary decided to put that over. At one point, Matt Sydal is isolated, and Top Flight are just hitting basically anything that moves, and they're killing it. And then Big Money Matt gets the upper hand, hits a side effect on all three men. Sydal's, though, he ends up, like, his legs end up, like, hitting, I think, Dante in the face.
Yeah.
Like, as he lands, it's just Boots' face.
Face.
So, toward the ending of the match, Cassidy uses a chair on Dante, who's up on the top turnbuckle with Mark Quinn, and Matt's, of course, distracting the ref. And this is the first time we've seen Private Party do this.
Yeah.
And
it was a big deal.
It is a big deal, and Mark Quinn ends up hitting the shooting star press, which I found very interesting.
Oh my God. That was a beautiful shooting star press. Holy crap, that dude got some height.
It's beautiful every time. But I think it's funny that a match on NXT also ended with a shooting star press for the win.
Oh, I didn't know that. Tonight, that happened tonight?
Yeah, tonight. So I just thought that was weird. But after the fact, Private Party just start beating up Top Flight and Sydal, and then Matt hits a twist of fate on basically everybody. And now Private Party's heel.
Yeah, basically. like I said, I'm starting like the big money math thing is starting to grow on me. Like I didn't
What
like it at first.
was
What's
this
that?
Big Money Mac though, or Matt? Like
Mhm.
this felt like he went back to version 1, like attire and all.
I don't
Like,
know, man. I wasn't familiar with that
yeah.
from back in the day, to be honest with you. So if this is recycled Matt Hardy, I will take your word for it because it probably is. But I like it. You
No, I
know,
mean,
it's
story wise, like it seems like he's away from the whole switching personalities. But no, I mean attire and all, it just looked like version 1 Matt Hardy from mid
Yeah,
2000.
it
like
seems
the
like
Attitude Era.
he seems like he's like
Like mid 2000.
combining his personas. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's dressing like version 1, but his attitudes and everything is Big Money Matt.
I don't know. I kind of got the version 1 feel like attitude wise too. Like he
Really?
had that heel run there. And
That's
he even
true.
had that little apprentice. What was his name? Shannon Moore. Yeah, he even had a. So I don't know. It felt very version 1 to me.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just reading this all wrong, and it very well could be version 1.
I'll take your word for it.
I'd probably take Sebastian's word for it. He knows more
Well,
than
no,
me.
that's what I'm saying. Either one of you know better than me. That's what I'm saying.
We're
So
all smarter than Kevin.
stop it. That's not true.
We just didn't have a Matt fact. That was this point.
Oh, they should bring back the Mad Facts.
Oh Jesus.
That'd be fun.
Uh No, but I like this, and I like obviously he's planting the seeds of getting Private Party away from Matt Hardy, which is ultimately what I really want. You know, I think that's what everybody ultimately really wants because the pairing didn't really make any goddamn sense to begin with.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So like this is a cool way to have them have a little heel run and then very easily turn baby face again once they turn on Matt Hardy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, Matt Hardy's acting like a crazy businessman, Gordon Gecko, and I'm into it.
I mean, it was a good match. The flippy doos though, it did kind of lead to some sloppy spots,
Yep.
which seemed like a theme for tonight. Uh,
Yeah.
Another theme for tonight, yeah, and this was the only time it really made sense to me. Well, you could argue the main event, but like 4 out of 5 matches tonight had shenanigans.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there was a lot of shenanigans tonight.
Especially during the main event. That's for
Well, I
damn
mean, I
sure.
expected that during the main event, though, because of the nature of the whole match. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
Okay,
Well, like the last 3 matches alone had shenanigans. Like Cassidy's in the chair, Charles Taylor and Kip Sabian getting involved, and then everyone in Inner Circle being
the
Inner
the
Circle.
the only match that didn't have shenanigans was Moxley's match.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. I think you're right. Holy shit.
Yeah, so it was a theme for that, and I've really before I never paid attention. AEW is kind of heading down that road where over half their matches are kind of having a little something extra. So at first they didn't really overbook stuff. They had clean matches for the most part, but they're kind of getting away from that, and I hope it's not a sign of things to come. I really do.
Yeah, it can't get overdone. You're right. I mean, I typically give that kind of stuff a pass, like if it makes sense with the story, and
And
most
that
of this
that,
did.
that match it did. That match,
Yeah.
the 6 man it did, and you could argue the main event did because it's MJF.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
and I figured the main event would have shenanigans just
yeah,
simply based on the nature of the match. I mean, there's just a lot of guys involved, and there's
Yeah.
at least one guy that's on the outside of the match.
yeah.
You know.
But you know, four, yeah, I think 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6, but I think it's 4 out of 5. You need to kind of clean it up a little bit. I think,
Oh no, I agree. I
especially
agree.
when the only clean one was the 6 minutes, kind of squash, kind of not match. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean you're not wrong. I'm forgiving a shit like that because I
No,
don't
this
care.
match made sense. This match definitely made sense.
Yeah. I mean, you could also say it kind of made sense character wise for Leela Hirsch taking on Penelope Ford and Charles Taylor, Chuck Taylor, is the young boy. He's the butler to Miro. It kind of makes sense for him to get involved because he has to do what Miro and Kip tell him.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think what they did at the end of that match would have been just perfect on its own. I don't think they had to go that extra stuff during the match for that one. I mean, him looking at we'll get to it. What happened
Yeah.
after it?
So before like Charles Taylor comes out, we see Cassidy's like in the stands just watching to see like what is currently happening to his best friend. The match itself between Leela and Penelope, fantastic. Best match
Hey,
of the
you know what?
night.
I'll say it, man. Penelope Ford is damn good. She
She is.
deserves to get a decent push. Like the other than the Nyla Rose matches that Sheeta had for the title, probably her best one was with Ford.
I would agree.
Probably.
Sorry, I was looking at how long this match lasted. 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yeah, and like 3 of that was picture in picture. I'm pretty
I
sure.
was just gonna say the majority was picture in picture and commercials.
Yeah.
Which, hey, Leela being 4'11", killing it.
Yeah.
Penelope
Oh yeah.
being like bendy and
Five
flexible.
one.
It was so good. Like it was great chemistry. And yeah, it took like a screwy finish, like Kip holding Leela's feet so she couldn't kick out to win. The same thing happened on Raw. Ric Flair did it to his daughter. It all makes
Yeah.
it just keeps happening. But the main story behind this is after the match, Miro comes in the ring along with Charles Taylor, and who he only has to be Charles Taylor for 2 weeks. He makes Charles Taylor look at Cassidy and say that I, Miro, am your best friend. And he says it, like, obviously, no emphasis, no nothing behind it. And Cassidy just looks, he, like, stands up, he takes his sunglasses off, he just looks sad, and then he walks away. And I was like, okay.
Walks away.
I hate that Trent's hurt because
Damn.
they're ruining them.
I know.
Yeah. Like
Miro's killing the best friends.
like did they say what would happen if Taylor like went against this?
No.
No. I honestly didn't think he was gonna say that shit, to be
Yeah, well,
honest.
that's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was like. What'll happen if he refuses? That's why I
He'll
asked.
probably just get beat up again.
Yeah.
Well, he's
That
probably getting beat up on the wedding day too. Like as soon as it's over, they're gonna beat his ass probably.
I know, like, there's no way in hell Trent would be okay, but, like, I really just want Trent to come out and, like, save his best friend at the wedding. I know there's no way it's possible, but, like, that
Oh, that would be
or
cool.
Cassidy just has, like, a nice little bow tie on with the whole gimmick, and then just crashes the wedding, saves Chuck Taylor, they beat up Kip and Miro. I'm predicting it now, that's what happens. I won't be able to tell if my prediction is correct, but this is video proof that that's what I say is happening.
I'm gonna delete it.
You have no access.
I can do whatever I want.
All right, let's talk about the main event. The Inner Circle Tag Team Challenge thing. Proud and Powerful, obviously, Santana and Ortiz taking on Max and Christopher, taking on Sammy Hagar, which we actually got like a little cameo from Sammy Hagar. Say like he
That was
approves.
cool. I like that a lot.
I loved that. And I loved Sammy in this entire match. I told Kevin before you joined the call sub that Sammy 100% was the MVP of this match.
No question.
Before we get to the match, did you all notice when MJF and Jericho, because it was kind of a combo thing started? It was like 30 seconds of just them giving each other a high five, like they're tagging each other in and out of the match.
I didn't notice, no.
Yeah, like
Oh, I
30,
didn't
30
notice
seconds of them just tagging on the Titantron little video thing.
That's funny.
I did not even notice.
That's a nice touch. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, figured I'd throw it out there. That was kind of clever.
That's funny.
Because you know
I like
MJF,
it a lot.
little weasel, he was the one who put that together, just pissing everybody off.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he
Probably.
didn't even try and tag himself into the match until, like, Jericho was, like, down and out.
Almost dead.
almost died. Um, at one point, Jericho hits the Lionsault, and it is. I can't even say he hit
Oh
the
god.
Lionsault. He tried to hit the Lionsault. It was
Yes.
awful. He literally landed like
Yeah.
where I have the pain in my shoulder. That's like where he landed, just on his neck and shoulder.
Yeah, he about
Yeah,
got
it
tired.
looked nasty. It was bad. It was really bad. Other than that, though, man, like because he was hitting some cool shit though in this match. Other than that, I thought Jericho looked better than what he has in a while, honestly. Because like he's looked kind of slow lately. I mean, we've talked
Yeah,
about it,
I
but
mean,
like,
looking at the other people in this match, I mean, Hager. I've never been a huge Jack
yeah,
Swagger, Jake Hager fan. Never. He looked way better than Jericho in this match, and
Yeah,
that's saying
yeah,
something.
yeah.
yeah,
Like,
Well, the thing is that like, they used the Jake Hager matches or spots in this match really, really well. I
mhm.
thought, like, you
I
know what I'm
loved
saying?
I loved the boot to Jericho.
Oh,
Like
that was perfect. That was perfect.
he
I
killed him.
actually popped for that. I haven't popped for a Jake Hager spot in a
Ever.
long, long time, but that was dope. You
Yeah,
know?
he killed him. Really.
Yeah, I mean, because Jericho motions to Wardlow to throw him Floyd, who is his baseball bat, and Hager, like, he turns around and Hager's right there. Hager said, "Nope." Big boot to Jericho. Max
Hager's
grabs.
face was insane then too. Like I thought he was like seriously just gonna go on a murderous rampage after he did that,
I mean, he kind
and
of
he kind
did.
of did.
Max tries to use his diamond ring, turns around, looks up at Hager. Hager just clocks him in the face. Listen, I loved it.
It was awesome.
And the ending of this match, because it was 9:59 and they were still doing like the spots with Santana and Ortiz and Jericho, and I was like, they have no time.
I
And
know, I know.
it literally just became Sammy going for whatever his finish is. It's the same thing T-Bar does, because they were both bitching about it on Twitter. It's like the upside down like GTS basically, and
Yeah.
he's going for that on Max. Max hits Wardlow. He ends up rolling Sammy, clearly grabbing the tights, like handful of tights. And yeah, so Max and Jericho are the official tag team of Inner Circle, which is bull, because you have Proud and Powerful, who have done nothing and are a legit tag team. I mean, but we knew Max is a snake. We knew.
I mean, I'm about it because I like my boy, but I mean, I don't want to see the inner circle break up either. And yeah, oh, I'm so afraid of that after this match. I'm so afraid of that.
Yeah, it's happened.
It's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any other way, or at least their troubles are far from over, even if they stay together.
Yeah, they're
We
like,
certainly aren't getting the
Yeah,
bubbly
that's true.
bunch anytime soon.
I mean, I might drag it out for a little bit, but yeah, it's their time is coming to an end for sure.
very much so.
It looks that way. Well, I mean, just as I thought it probably would. I mean, MJF's going to start a power struggle within the thing, and they're going to splinter off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's going to be.
I mean, can you really blame someone that like proud and powerful? Like I'd have already been gone if I was one
Mm-hmm.
of them.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's all Max's fault that the Inner Circle breaks up.
You know what though? That's a hell of an achievement, and I'm not gonna show that anything but respect.
Thank you guys for watching. Please give it a download if you're listening on any audio platform. I'll even throw up our subscribe button again. There it is. Click the like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that fun stuff. Yeah, me, Kev, maybe, and RN will be doing NXT tomorrow.
Maybe I'll die.
Dude.
Memes, come on! Don't you know that meme? The old
No.
guy.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
I'll die.
Oh my God. Thank you guys for watching. We greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you later. Bye bye.
See ya.